So we're here, my name is Benji Smith from Smith Benowitz, partner Smith Benowitz. We are here in Park City, Utah at the Legal X Conference brought to you by Filevine, an incredible software company that's put on an incredible conference here in Park City. So we're here with Darren Miller. Darren, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, where you're from, and what you think about Filevine, the conference so far.
Appreciate it. Hi guys, this is attorney Darren Miller. I'm the founder of D. Miller & Associates law firm out of Houston, Texas. Also our intake company, a case acquisition company, is DMA Advocates out of Houston. What that does, of course, is provide cases for lawyers throughout the country that are looking to diversify into mass torts. But this conference has been fantastic. It's been so relaxed here in the beautiful mountains here in Utah. People are just laid back, wanting to vibe with each other, teach each other, work together. It's been a fantastic experience.
So I saw you speak. I've come to learn a lot about your firm. You've grown a big business, and we as lawyers, we go to law school. They don't teach us about business, and frankly, they really don't even teach us how to practice law. They do nothing to really figure out to let us know how do we get into the business world. I've seen you grow your businesses in an incredible way. What advice do you have for lawyers who are stuck in these jobs that they can't stand, and they want to practice law, they want to help people, but they can't figure out how to do that while enjoying their life and building a business that they can be proud of?
That's a great question. You know, the first thing I would say to answer that, life is short. And I would hate to be in a situation where 5 or 6 years down the line, I'm doing something every morning that is unfulfilling, that I hate. You got to do what makes you happy. And in life, you've got to take some chances. And sometimes you're going to do some things and you're going to fail. And failing is okay. If the question is, what are you going to do with those failures? What are you going to learn from them? What are you going to take advantage of next time to make sure you succeed? And so one of the things I would tell lawyers is, certainly you got to pay your bills and take care of your family. I understand that. But also, you've got to also do something that fulfills you, that's going to make you happy, that provides some services for society. Leave things better than you found them.
About technology. So these lawyers,
yes,
that we know, you're a lawyer, right? You know what this is like, right?
Right.
Okay, so we went to law school, and the traditional lawyer is old school, not quick to adapt, kind of miserable, and doesn't enjoy the work that they do on a day-to-day basis. And part of that is this feeling of maybe it's ego, maybe it's like ego that is masking an insecurity, and the idea of going into a technology, looking into a technology where we don't know what the hell is going on with this technology, I think it puts us in a position of vulnerability.
Correct.
And what do you think it is that puts guys like you in the place where you want to be okay with being vulnerable and saying, you know what, Filevine, this looks incredible, but I'm okay with not knowing a lot about it, and I want to learn about it, and I want to bring myself into this new way of doing things, this technology, and moving things forward, as opposed to most lawyers who want to stick with the traditional way of doing things?
Look, again, Ben, I think you've hit the nail on the head once again. I've looked at some of these law firms that 5 and 10 years ago that were absolutely thriving with their traditional practices. Well, the problem with those traditional practices is that they're comfortable in how things have been, and they're not adopting what's going on now. And what they're finding, their market share is diminishing, their caseloads are going down, they're not able to get the new cases in like other people are, and they're slow to adapt. And one of the things that I realize, if we're going to stay ahead in this business, it is a marathon. And you better keep running, because you stop and you break, someone else is going to run right in front of you. And so technology, you have to stay cutting edge. You have to find out what's going on. That's one of the reasons why I'm so happy to be with Filevine, because they are on top of it. They want to run the race right next to me, as opposed to some of these case management services that I've had before that haven't done the job. And I love the fact that I know we're going to continue to keep challenging each other to make sure we stay ahead in that race.
Very cool. Is there something that you find to be transformational about the way that you guys have been able to use FileVine that maybe you didn't think you were going to be able to do at any, like there was a big challenge that you had in your operations, and FileVine has done a great job of addressing those challenges?
Man, I've got to tell you, just the use of data and how important that you can make your decision. I would never have thought 5 years ago the importance of historical data, knowing what the numbers are, and utilizing those numbers to the fullest to make sure that, okay, this cost per lead is going at the right rate, that people are being efficient with their numbers. And the fact that we're able to get this information from FileVine, from the systems, and see how people are doing, what campaigns are going on, how we can become more efficient. Just the use of that data and how it drives the company and helps it keeps us moving forward.
And how about this conference? So, you know, a lot of people think, like in my old world, the idea of me being here right now is completely insane. The idea that I'm spending time talking to you on camera and being at a conference in Utah, I should be back at the office busting my ass in there all day behind my screen, working nonstop without any sort of exception. Don't leave for lunch, don't leave for anything. Don't leave to meet anybody. How do you explain to people that doing things like this not only is not a hindrance, but coming to a conference, bringing your staff here, learning, mingling with other attorneys and different staff, like why would you do this? How is this beneficial to your firm, and why aren't you better off just in your office, busting your butt at home?
Look, I've got no problems with those folks that are working hard, taking care of business, doing what they need to in their offices, and that's fantastic. But conferences like this, to make the relationships, to find out what's going on from a technology perspective, to make the contacts that are up here, to get the new perspectives, to figuring out what the new trends are, you're killing yourself slowly by not arming yourself with the knowledge to prepare yourself for what's to come. So those people who are thinking like that, good luck to them, but I want to see the whole playing field so I can figure out what I need to do to prepare myself.
Absolutely. What is something that, would you say, differentiates you from the other firms, whether it be in Texas or across the country? What do you think, if somebody were to describe objectively, just take a step away, or how would you want them to describe you in terms of how you differentiate yourself from other firms?
Diversity. I think we are very diverse with regards to personal injury. That's important. Mass tort, obviously very important. Helping other lawyers diversify and getting involved in into this area of the practice of law. That's one of the things that I think we do substantially different than others, because, look, I tried my best not to really sell. I don't really sell. One of the things I'm selling to certain people, or these lawyers that I'm meeting here, is, hey guys, be aware of this. This is what's going on out there. Whether or not you choose to utilize my services, that's fine. And I'll give you the information, because quite frankly, God has blessed us with enough information, cases, contacts. We're going to be absolutely fine. But these guys that don't want to take a risk or are afraid to do certain things, if I can help push them to, hey, just take a look at this. This is how you can help yourself. This is how you can diversify. This is what can take care of your kids' college in 10 years. These are the things that I educate them about.
Okay, so I want to get to inspiration. So it's this. You could easily look at these times as dark times. There's all sorts of stuff going on, politics, the world. You could easily just go into a depression.
Right.
You could look at what's going on and you could say, I give up. I don't want any part of it. For me, there's definitely something that pulls me inside to that place. And so it's not the most natural thing to look at all the positivity around me. That's my personal that's a personal challenge that I face.
Right.
But what I've seen is when I've shifted my mindset and look at all the inspiration, look at the Darren Millers of the world, look at FileVine, look at LegalX. This is a place that presents hope to me. And I like hope. I like to see hopeful figures. I like to see hopeful companies. you don't come to a conference like this unless you're looking forward and believe that there is positivity going forward. And so what I like to do, I like to focus on inspiration. And I think it really is about your mindset, like we've talked about. You could easily focus on the negative out there. I look around, I look at my partner, Lewis, I look at you, I look at Mari, and I think, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
I look at Mari, I think these are all people who want to bust their butt to bring value to the world.
Yes.
And so I'm curious to you, where do you draw inspiration from? So, and not pointing to your family, not pointing to like, you know, the people that work at your firm or your family. Taking those qualifiers out because those are obviously, you know, those are obviously part of the deal. Is there a leader? Is there a podcast? Is there a newsletter, a social media guy that goes on every day that brings you inspiration, or anything that somebody at home could pick up a new book or pick up? There's no one answer fits it all type of thing, but is there something out there that you could say, focus on this or look at this, and this may give you inspiration like it's given me?
You know, looking at one thing, Ben, honestly, probably not. You brought up the aspect of, you know, things look gloomy or they're dark. Look, I see it like this. God has presented me with an opportunity to speak with people, to talk with people, to inspire people, to let them know, look, hey, just because you've had some problems in the past, we can make it better together in the future. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing, to inspire people, to let them know that we can get over this. We do different scholarships through the law firm. Anything to help people, to let them know you can create something different. It can be better. We can make it better. Let me help you to make it better. I love things like that. You've basically given me a challenge, Ben, in terms of, and when I say that, you know, when you say that, you've reminded me that there's people out there that need inspiration, that need help. And so we have to work that much harder to let them know, look, hey, we can make this better. This is a beautiful world that God has given us. Let's work together to help people. Because when you help people, I don't know your experience, but I get more out of it than the things that I give people.
100%.
And it makes sense. And so if we can create that energy in other people, they're going to pass it on, and it's going to make our world even brighter to live in moving forward.
Okay, lastly, you're from Houston, otherwise known as H-Town.
Yes.
I just watched the Travis Scott documentary
Oh, yes.
about Astroworld.
Yes.
Astroworld doesn't exist anymore,
No.
but apparently the mayor of, I think it's of Houston,
Yes.
says they're bringing it back. Do I have a problem so I can come to H-Town when it's ready, and we're gonna go to Astroworld together?
I would love it. Maybe
Okay.
we can figure out some way of getting in touch with Travis Scott and his people and figuring something out and bringing some kids with us too.
That sounds
that
good.
would be fantastic.
I have some people in LA that might be able to help with that too.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, I really appreciate it. It was really good to meet you,
Appreciate it, man.
and really thank you so much for the opportunity.